Welcome to another episode of Sportsy. Now we've ditched the girls and I have Elijah on board with me. Elijah,
Yes.
how's the sun?
It's been a while, huh?
Yeah, it's been a while since you've been out here.
The sun, well, of course the sun is hot.
It's hot. We're out here at the Sevens competition down here at the Bicini Sports Grounds. Elijah, tell us a bit about the competition we have behind us.
Well, there's about 34 teams taking part in this competition. 3 teams from the Aroma Coast.
Including, and actually the winner of the Aroma Coast Sevens last year, playing right now on the field. That's the team Bike Air. So should be a really good competition.
Yeah.
And here's some of the highlights of the competition.
The Capital Rugby Union Invitational Sevens witnessed over 30 teams partake from the NGI region and Southern region. Despite the union's recess in 2015 due to the hosting of the Pacific Games, the enthusiasm and participation in the nation's capital remains at large. Competitions as such are part of the CRU's drive in increasing participation and growing the game. As the lead union under the PNG RFU, the CRU holds a significant responsibility in maintaining the standard and quality of rugby under the stewardship of President Jacob Anga. The union is set to grow as the year unfolds.
Awesome to see a lot of the Sevens action that's happening out here at the Bicini Sports Ground, and Sevens isn't too popular in Papua New Guinea, and we're hoping that it gets popular, maybe like rugby league is. But Elijah, what's your favorite team out there?
Well, I don't really follow rugby union, but I'm gonna go with the team that's playing here at the back, one of the teams from Aroma.
Yeah, I think they're called the Bike Brothers.
Yeah.
We'll find out some more about them after these short messages.
We are students of Aroma and what team? Sporty!
The sun is absolutely hot out here at the Bicini Sports Ground. Elijah,
I'm turning red. My face is red.
Yeah, Elijah's getting redder by the second.
I think that's why Lorraine didn't want to come.
Yeah, probably that's why Lorraine ditched us and told us to come out here. But yes, we mentioned a bit earlier about some of the teams that are competing here. In particular, the teams from the Aroma Coast. Now, Aroma have been playing rugby. They have a competition called the Aroma Coast Sevens, and we're going to find out a little bit more about them. And Elijah caught up with some of the teams, and here's a bit more about the teams from the Aroma Coast.
The 2016 Governors Cup Sevens competition has attracted teams throughout the country. Competing teams include 3 from the Aroma Coast, Warumana Wanderers, Keakalo Malagana and Bike Brothers. Coach of the Bike Brothers, Phil Kwalu, said they came into the competition for the players to have a feel of a higher level of competition from what they are used to.
We are Aroma Coast Sevens champions from last year, and this year in the last year in the Labioma Cup, we came to the semi-finals, lost to University Piggies by 1 point, and just 2 weeks ago we were involved in the trials here, organized by Turago's coach Douglas Guys, and we feel that we have the team that can be able to show their best.
Bike Brothers are winners of last year's Aroma Coast Sevens tournament. The CRU Invitational Sevens tournament that happened over the weekend has been an eye-opener for some of the players, and they have enjoyed the challenge competing against some experienced sides. However, Kwalu has called on President of Central Rugby Union to seriously look into further developing the code along the coast.
These are village-based players. Mostly we play league, not very much of union. But since the inception of Aroma Coast Sevens, it has given another direction to the boys. You know, Sevens football is all about speed, and our boys are, you know, we have the boys who have the speed. And to be playing in this competition, it's a great challenge to the young boys. It's not about winning, but it's about exposing the young talents up to this level.
Most players are based in the village, with the team recruiting many new players for the Sevens tournament. Aroma Coast has proven to produce some of the code's greatest talent, particularly in the likes of Billy Rapila, Douglas Guys, Manu Guys, and current GM for PNG Rugby, Frank Gania, to say the least. Should more resources and focus be placed on rural areas like the Aroma Coast, the code could see many emerging talents. To a coastal team, much the same as the AC teams, Hakatautai reigns from the autonomous region of Bougainville, different to the Black Orchids. These blokes represent the Motlog group of islands.
Hakatautai was formed in 2014 when by Kifa and I. Kifa actually saw the potential. We had a touchcom that used to happen at the Unagi Aval, and then a lot of our boys from Hakatautai, they don't play the contact sports, so Kifa decided to form the Hakatautai team, and so he collected those. He saw there was potentials and for these boys, so he collected them and formed Hakatautai.
The name itself resembling the team's strength, the making of men and building masters.
Okay, Hakatautai is actually, Hakatautai means the making of it's like in our talk place Motlog, it's like the fishermen. When you're a fisherman, you are a tautai. So the making of, but this we use it in sports, so that's, the making of a sportsman.
The current team that faced over 30 other teams during the 2016 Governors' Cup had one motive: spread awareness on the current state of global warming affecting their shores and their people.
Basically, we are here today. We're playing for our people. We have this, the global warming thing, and Hakatautai especially, it's like a team where we formed to spread the message to the people that our island is, global affected by the global warming. So basically, that's what we are playing for. We're playing for our people back at home.
Hakatautai will be sure to feature throughout the year in other Sevens tournaments to continue spreading their message and growing the game in the islands.
Yeah, so they're pretty humble guys and very, very good athletes, and looking forward to how they do during this tournament. Now join us on the other side of the break as we take a look at some big announcements in rugby union. Now welcome back to the show. Now Dion, last week you and Lorraine were over at Brew Kettle for some big announcements.
That is correct, Elijah. Some big announcement with PNG RFU and the Export Lager brand. Now they will be sponsoring the National Sevens circuit, so it should be really interesting. And Lorraine and Genia will give us all the information. And here's Lorraine Genia.
Since 2012, the PNG Rugby Football Union has been rolling out junior mass participation programs within all 12 affiliated unions. These programs involve participation from all levels and all parts. Over the course of the years, PNG Rugby has seen a steady growth in participation figures, and at the back end of 2015, were recognised as the largest participation union in the region, ranked 18th in the world.
These programs involve participation from all levels and all parts of our game, including volunteers, teachers, coaches, parents, and of course players, as well as covering all age groups and all genders, with a huge emphasis focused on the promotion of gender equality and the growth of women's rugby.
Through the increase in participant figures, there was an urgent need to establish a higher level of competition throughout the country, in particular at the provincial level. The Rugby Championships and Sevens Series will build a bridge between senior club rugby representation and international rugby.
PNG Rugby have witnessed, as I mentioned, some steady growth over the last few years. However, what has become more and more evident within our development programs is the urgent need to establish a high-level rugby competition within the country. And through that, I mean provincial rugby, which would also obviously build a bridge between senior club rugby representation and international rugby. This partnership with the SB Export Lager brand and the SB Brewery will enable PNG RFU to establish 2 provincial rugby competitions within the country. In the Export Rugby Championship, which will be focusing on Rugby 15s, and the Export 7 Series, which obviously will be focusing on Rugby 7s, whilst at the same time support the Export Lager brand with its new strategy to grow and improve brand recognition around the country.
The National Sevens Series will consist of 5 legs determined by 3 factors: player base, centralised location and potential, to identify new talent and increase senior rugby participation.
I guess more importantly, with regards to the Sevens series, the SB Brewery and Export Lager, in collaboration with PNG RFU, have decided to have agreed to recognise each of these tournaments to be synonymous to each province or region, and by that I mean, for example, in the southern region, we will see the sevens tournament be called the Hetera Sevens. The Hetera, for those of you who don't know, is a Motu word, which means friend, and Motu is the common language spoken here in the south. But I guess above all, and more importantly, the National Sevens tournaments will be conducted under the SB Export Lager brand. Now, the locations and names of the series legs are as follows. The first tournament will kick off in the first weekend of September at the Dawa Pier Sevens in Rabaul. Then we'll head to the Tulite Sevens in Goroka. From there we head down the highway to the Sarabagat Sevens in Leh, then across to Port Moresby for the Hetera Sevens. The 5th and final leg will be the National Sevens Championship, where we will see all 12 provincial teams competing, as well as the 4 winners from each of the 4 legs from the series.
National Coaching Director of the PNG Rugby Football Union, Sydney Wesley, says this is an exciting prospect, as it not only reignites the flame that was once there before the code went downhill, but it will encourage mass participation and build on more talent in rural PNG.
We see this as an ideal opportunity to, I'd say, rectify that area. Players at the local competition see that as the next step up from where they're playing right now, and then at that competition it's the next step up. I mean, after that it's the national team. So you'd say they'll be itching first to partake in the provincial championship, either be sevens or the 15s, and knowing very well that after that it's the national team.
Now obviously this will assist you as the national coach in terms of that wider player base that we once spoke about last year.
Yes, exactly. It gives an opportunity for us, like last year, like I was saying, we try as much as possible to spread our wings in terms of selection, and I'd say there is no better avenue, I'd say, than this. Previously, before Super Rugby, there was this a championship similar to this. This time we want to make this better.
The PNG RFU have long had the backing of corporate houses to fund and support competitions as such. Now, with an opportunity to demonstrate the length in which rugby can excel abroad, the union looks set to take rugby to greater heights.
Welcome back to the show. Now, before we head out, we have an update on the Super 4. What is it?
The 2016 Super Rugby,
Super Rugby.
which will be shown on MTV.
Yes, we're gonna be telecasting some.
Yeah.
So all you rugby union fans, you should look forward to that. And also, here are some of the highlights on what to look forward to this week, and also what happened last week.
Sanctioned under SANZA, South Africa, New Zealand and Australian Rugby, Super Rugby is the only tournament in the world played across so many different time zones. Now, with the extension of the competition to Japan and Argentina, the level of rugby is set to improve within the Southern Hemisphere. New Zealand's Crusaders, Chiefs and Blues will feature alongside reigning champions from 2015, the Highlanders, with Australia registering 5 teams, and South Africa with the regulars, Cheetahs, Stormers, Lions, Bulls and the Sharks. Draws have been announced with round 1 matches kicking off on Friday the 26th of February. Blues take on the Highlanders at Eden Park in Auckland, while the Brumbies take on the Hurricanes at GOI Stadium, Canberra, and the 2 debutants having home games to begin their campaign in their first ever Super Rugby season. Papua New Guinea's top-seeded female squash player Lynette Vine makes top 5 in the Asian Junior Squash Championships, and PNG weightlifting contingent to Rio to be formalised following team's performance at the Oceania Weightlifting Championships. And now looking at stories that topped the headlines last week. Kato Otio features for Raiders' silent trial match against Newcastle Knights, something the PNG Rugby Football League is extremely proud of.
Kato, it's from a trial, training trial contract. He's been able to secure a 1-year contract with the Canberra Raiders. We wish him all the best for this year, and he, depending on how he goes. I know he's got a very good work and training ethic, attitude and work ethic, so he will succeed. And hopefully through successes like that, they can provide a motivation and, for our young boys coming up to aspire to be the next Kato Otio.
And we've come to the end of the show. Now, Elijah, do you think you could last out there, especially in the heat like this?
Yeah, I'm pretty fit.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you probably wouldn't make it past the halfway point.
Yeah, but the sun is really hot. Probably the next time,
yes,
maybe we can.
From all the rain, it's good to have the sun for a bit. So, yeah. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the show. If you want to find out about anything we've discussed on tonight's episode of Sports Scene, you can find us on MTV online and on MTV on Facebook, MTV Sports.
And that's a wrap from Dion and I. And
good night, viewers.